Aloha and welcome to Java. Thank you all kindly for joining me. It is Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024. The markets in the United States will be closed tomorrow for celebration of Independence Day. It's the 4th of July. If you celebrate that, I'd like to wish you a happy 4th of July celebrations, and then also to keep an eye out on things. So I won't be here in the morning, and also markets close early today. So they close 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We are having a Discord chat after Greg's live. I'm imagining he'll do it at 1:05 Eastern Daylight Time. And so we can have our chat at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Feel free to stop in there. I'm leaving a link in the description. You can just come and chat, listen, whatever your level of comfort is there. It's a wonderful group. So at any rate, I do want to urge a little bit of caution this weekend. There are high alert status that the United States government has issued. So with that, let's go into the market. And I apologize for my voice. I'm still feeling a little bit of one of Fauci's finest, although I'm recovering very well. So thank you very kindly for all of your well wishes. So we'll talk a moment about the MMRI has increased in its risk rating, so above the 290 level again. We've got the fear greed index. It's in neutral zone at 50. So moving towards the greed, very clearly, people are quote unquote buying the dip. So we've got markets ended at all-time highs yesterday. They're starting out green today as well as with the futures, and I'm expecting a bit of a correction. That goes on a couple of things. First off, this push was through just a few select, namely the Mag 7 tech stocks, that did make advances toward the end of the day. This was mostly on Fed Chair Powell speaking, and they're getting a bit more basically dovish about the rate cuts. So again, pricing in rate cuts, we're back to that. But if you take a look at the 10-year yield as well as the relative strength of the dollar, they were quite high, and they basically are having a bit of a pullback. When those pull back, it does give stocks room to grow. So as the risk comes down, stocks will increase in their value and go green. So we've got the sentiment right now, ADP unemployment numbers. We've got a decent amount of data coming in, but there will be a significant drop in volume, I suspect, after the first hour of trading today. Maybe not worth doing much. We'll see how it goes. So with this, we've also got a drop in cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin above the 60,000 levels, those still holding well. We've got some news on that as well. So going into our calendar, we've got very, very short weeks, closed tomorrow and closing early today. We are still, as I was saying, expecting ADP employment numbers, jobless claims, also factory orders and ISM, and then the minutes of June's FOMC meeting coming in after market close at 2 p.m. So set all your trades early in the day if you haven't already. So with this, we have this other story. I don't know why it's even a story anymore, but coming out that a senator nearly doubled their money with super suspicious congressional trades. Now, insider trading has been going on for some time. They make much more than they do as their pay for the position that they hold. Nothing new, but just hearing more of it. So some things I would like to cover. First off, we've got a little bit of coverage about the bank's use of credit risk transfer transactions, or CRTs. So we've got the banking industry now itself calling out that these are opaque and risky. And this is ahead of one of the banking sectors. So basically, they are pointing out that this credit risk is increasing and it's going to crush these smaller institutions first. Now we know this, but it's just showing that even from the inside now it's becoming a significant point of interest, if you would. So we've got Fed Goolsbee saying officials should prepare for rate cuts. So that kind of sent the market into green territory, as it's basically easy money is what they're preparing for. And in reality, we've been getting easy money. So may have to correct a little bit from this. So on the other side, if you don't go along with their narrative, we've got what is quote unquote anti-woke bank hit with the FDIC consent order as their losses mount. So this is members of the boards of, it's called Old Glory Bank and their holding company. So this bank includes a lot of conservative, high profile personalities, including Larry Elder, Mary Fallon Christensen, and former Housing and Urban Development Secretary, who's also, I like him quite a bit, a favorite of mine, Ben Carson. So if you don't go along with what they say, you're going to go under scrutiny, and likelihood is if you go under scrutiny, you're not going to get the bolstering on the other side, and it's going to be a tremendous amount of pressure that can put you under. So we'll see what happens with this bank. On the other side, with cryptocurrency, it's going down. So one of the pressures it's facing is the German government is transferring additional cryptocurrency, and they're saying they're threatening selling of more of this. Well, there's another saying in the markets that if you are large enough and you feel like you missed the boat, quote unquote, and that refers to if you had low prices in an asset and you feel like you missed it, then you bring that boat back. Others miss the boat, but if you're large enough, you bring that boat back. What does that mean? You suppress prices again, and then you purchase back after you get everybody else to sell. So I think there's possibly a bit of that going on. Not financial advice, but just to make you aware. That's very large playbook, basically, in the manipulation scandals that happen. So a few more stories that could affect the markets, not just that, but across the board. We've got the first batch of marine amphibious combat vehicles to arrive in Okinawa. Now we've got a lot of activity peaking over in this area. Asia is becoming a hotspot, and as I was speaking about yesterday, we've got more war games going on, being hosted by none other than close to my home island in Hawaii. So a lot more of this going on in Asia, and that is the staging ground. So with this part of what's going on, we've got also the currency war, talking about Japan dumping US treasuries and what could happen from here. So if you're not familiar with Gareth Soloway, he's an incredible trader, in my opinion. He is, I believe, based out of Tampa, his company is, and he was interviewed by Cambione. So Daniela used to be with Kitco, but at any rate, they were talking a lot about the currency wars going on here, and that if they dump more US treasuries, they are one of the largest holders. It could cause issues for the United States. Then we also have others in FinTwit, basically talking about Japan's yield curve going parabolic. They're having serious issues. I've been speaking about Japan possibly as throwing that next black swan move. So if they start dumping these treasuries, it is an issue. So a few other things. We've got Iran becoming the fourth largest oil exporter within OPEC. This is just to show the magnitude of the growth that has happened since the United States has started sanctioning them. And all of this has happened within the past 4 years for the most part. So Iran growing in intense strength, and they have vowed to back up the Hezbollah if anything should happen with them. So kind of watching that on that side as well. We've still got it under control. However, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. So we've got the Philippines adopting Tether USDT for social security payments. Now, Tether just had major problems, if you're not aware of that, and yet we've got countries adopting these for payments. So it just shows the cryptocurrency space is going to grow it is still growing in adoption, even for weekly backed projects. So I've got one major win that I wanted to bring up, and that's the hate speech bill. This actually was proposed back over in Ireland. Basically, it has been delayed until autumn. They've got some serious doubts about the proposed legislation. So by putting this off, it's doubtful that it can go before the general election. And this is, they call it the hate speech bill in order to get it to pass, but it is suppression of free speech uh, under guise. So my opinion is very good that this has been put on the back burner. Hopefully, we'll never get past. They're having issues with the government becoming very woke there as well. But with this, we all need to keep things a watch out so that we can maintain these freedoms that we enjoy. I hope to see you all in Discord a little bit later. But until I see you again, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful day. Celebrate your freedoms. And until I see you again, stay free.